It's time for real talk and empowering conversations that matter to our chapter, our community, and for our legacy. Based on Delta Sigma Theta's 5-point programmatic thrust, it's time for DST Dialogues with your host, Jazmin Watson.
Welcome to MAC-DST Dialogues, the official podcast of the Montgomery, Alabama alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Today's episode highlights our educational development thrust, which focuses on empowering youth and families through access to education, resources, and opportunities that support academic success. As the school year comes to a close, many students and families are beginning to think about the next step toward college. One important milestone in that journey is preparing for college entrance exams like ACT. For many families, navigating the college readiness process can feel overwhelming, from understanding testing timelines to knowing how to help students prepare effectively. Today's conversation is designed to help parents and students better understand the importance of ACT preparation, academic planning, and early college readiness strategies. We're excited to welcome our guest today, Carolyn Thomas, Director of Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist ACT Bootcamp, who will share insight on how students can prepare for the ACT and how families can support their college readiness journey. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you for having me.
So, today's discussion is about college readiness and ACT prep. And so when we start to think about families that are preparing for college for their students, can you explain why exams like the ACT are such important parts of the college admission process?
The ACT is an integral part of the college admission process. And whereas we have schools that are not requiring an ACT course, a minimum score for admission, many of the schools are, and almost all of your academic scholarships are based on that ACT score. So the ACT score itself becomes very important, because if you cannot attend the school that you desire to attend because of your ACT score, then that's pretty crushing for a kid. So it's very important. In addition to the ACT score being a requirement for many of the schools, once the student attends a specific school, for example, if they want to go into a specific program area, that area may have a minimum ACT score. And it's not just your four-year colleges. For example, at Trenum, there is a minimum score on the ACT to go into the School of Nursing. So it can be very important for their career choices, based on their career choices.
Yeah, and so when should students start preparing for the ACT? And what are some early steps that families can take to help their student feel confident for that test?
Students really should prepare their entire school career, but they're really going to start preparing. I would strongly recommend that students start really thinking about it at the end of 9th grade and no later than the end of 10th grade. Right. Because during that 11th grade year, you want to have already determined where you are. It can be very stressful on children trying to meet a requirement. You only have the 11th grade summer, your admission packages are due. So ideally, 9th grade, no later than 10th grade, start thinking about the ACT score that you are going to need to attend the program that you would like to attend in college.
And so when students start to do research for their programs that they're interested in, specifically the college that they would like to attend, and then even the major or program that would cater to their specific professional development, what are some common misconceptions about ACT prep that can often hinder a student's performance or even reduce their desire to want to put their best foot forward toward the ACT?
Some students do not understand the importance of the score. And so that can be a hindrance. They're playing, they may not take it serious. The test itself is very long.
Right.
And so some of them may get tired in the middle of it, but that is a key reason why we want to have them take an ACT prep course. Because when they take the course, it's not just the academics. The misconception is, and we will have people say, well, if they didn't learn it in 12 years, they can't learn it in 5 weeks. Well, the 5 weeks is not designed to cover 12 years of material. However, it is designed to identify any areas of weakness, to expose the student to the test format, and the best approach to identify the student's strength and the student weaknesses. So a very good ACT prep program will get them ready. And on average, when students attend a ACT program and do the work, they go up 3 to 5 points, which can be critical when we're reviewing their future career readiness for certain program areas.
And thank you for sharing that. We will be right back with more about ACT prep and college readiness after the break.
I see my mom do everything. She never says when something's wrong, but I can tell. She holds it together in front of everyone else, then comes home and gives what little she has left. Even moms need someone sometimes. Even the strongest people do. And that's okay. Mom, are you all right?
To every woman holding it all in, your strength is your voice. Ask for help. Silence the shame.
And we're back. So before the break, we were talking about some common misconceptions that students have, and it impacts their performance sometimes, right? And so I want to shift to talking about minority communities and the ACT. And so there have been several studies that show ACT test prep disparities significantly impact minority students, with Black and Latino students often trailing in scores due to limited access to resources and lower college readiness benchmarks, while higher income students often have greater access to coaching and test preparation opportunities. What opportunities exist in our area that are open to students of color that widen access and close those gaps?
There are programs available to students. One in particular with Alabama, you have an online ACT course that is available to any 11th grader in the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
But the key there is to get them to sit down to a computer, self-driven, and do the work. So that is why your ACT courses, where you register for a course, comes in, because you arrived at a location and you're kind of going to have to do it while you're there, and the book's not going to sit there and get dust on it, or you're not going to not open the computer.
Right.
So you have Gear Up, which has an excellent program. I saw in the news that the Sheriff Department offers a ACT program. You have some of your learning centers that are offering ACT prep, but that prep comes at a pretty penny.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere from $40 to $75 an hour. Some of them do a flat rate course for around $2,500 for 40 hours. You also have some of the colleges, ASU, AUM, that provides review courses. Often those courses are between 32 and 40 hours, and they're ranging anywhere from There's 4 components to the test, and on average they range about 150. And then in particular for low-income students, I'm the director of the Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church ACT camp, and it was started 15 years ago because we do have people in the community that cannot afford those fees. And so whereas we have a nominal charge, we provide approximately 60 hours of ACT prep. Students are given preparation on online test-taking techniques, manual test-taking techniques, and we give them exposure to the test, pre-testing, identifying areas of strengths and weaknesses, as well as a post-test, and we do an entire run-through. So nothing is new on the day of the test.
Right.
To prepare them for it. And so I think the disparities is a disparity in the quality of education that is provided, as well as their disparities in the access to the different resources. So that is part of it. However, we want our students to work hard, take advantage of what they have, use some of the tools that they've been given to increase their score, which is very important. That they get the best score that they can get.
It is. And so can you share a little bit about your ACT camp, and what does it take for families to enroll their students?
The camp that is at Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church, we take 30 students. Why 30? Because we want it personal. We want to dive in and get a deep analysis of what their strengths are and their weaknesses are. We do registration. We call the church. We register you. We generally take 9th grade through 11th grade. However, we have some 8th graders that cannot wait to come, and they often do quite well, especially those students that have already had geometry that maybe are in the magnet program. So, but the church saw the need, understands that due to, I would say, economically deprived youth, they may not have an opportunity. And this is our opportunity to reach out to the community to assist those students. But there is a fee, and the fee is based on whether they're a member or not a member. But the church has a significant investment in this program and has done it for 15 years.
Okay. And so is it worth the investment for parents to contribute this money to the program? Well,
we think it's absolutely worth it. And last year, one of the current National Merit Scholars here in Montgomery has attended the ACT Bootcamp.
Wow.
And I'm very proud to say the young man made 35 out of 36. So we find it absolutely excellent. However, I've had students that have started off with what we would deem a low ACT score, but that's not what that's not how I evaluate success. If you come to us with a 15 and you leave with an 18 and you can now get in a college of your choice, we have succeeded. If you start with us with an even lower score, but you are able to move that score up 3 to 5 points and no longer have to take remedial classes when you attend college, well, guess what? That's money in the bank. That's a scholarship. And we have significant scholarships, and we have students ranging on that test, a large range, but most of them go up, and we have numerous students over the years who have benefited from the ACT Bootcamp, who have gotten scholarship money.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that success. You dropped the numbers for the people, okay? It does sound worth it. It does sound worth it. And so we talked a lot about the importance of getting a good ACT score. But as we know, there is more to the college readiness portion of getting into a university or college of your choice, right? And so what, in your experience, what other attributes should a student have to be more attractive during the college admission process?
Students really need to get the best GPA that they can.
Right.
Because GPA is considered. Also, we need to take a look at their course selection. Parents need to be engaged in that. If you know that your child would like to go in a STEM program, then do not allow them their senior year to have a great time. Go ahead and challenge them to take a challenging math course or science course. If we know that the child is going in language arts, then go ahead and take the AP class or the dual enrollment class. So to prepare, you're going to look at what that career path is for your child and prepare them for that career path. I believe this is going to be the first year, we have diploma choices. They can choose choice A or they can choose choice B. That's going to be critical when they start high school in the 9th grade. Because if they are planning to go to a 4-year college, they cannot choose choice B and have the required course curriculum to map into the college. Choice A is generally your traditional diploma, whereas choice B is more workforce readiness.
Oh, wow.
And so it's going to make a difference. And so to me, the key there is the parent has to be in contact with the counselor, the school officials. So whereas ACT scores are important, it's going to also depend on what your career path is.
Wow, I didn't even know that. So that is something new for the Montgomery Public School System?
The state of Alabama.
The state of Alabama. Interesting.
State of Alabama. We now have 2 different diplomas.
Wow, well, thank you for joining that information, for providing that information for our viewers. And so as we approach the end of the school year, what message would you like to leave with students and families who are beginning their college readiness journey or ACT prep journey?
For those students who know that they are going to attend a 2-year, 4-year college, go ahead and prepare now for your ACT prep so that you can make the best score, because that brings us to money.
Yeah.
Because if you can get an ACT score that will allow you to get scholarship money, then those are monies you will not have to repay later in life. And so it becomes very important. Under the new bill that was passed in July of 2025, parents and students need to be aware that borrowing limits have changed. They're no longer where you can borrow the cost of education. For the undergraduate student, the max there is going to be $65,000, but for the Parent Plus, there's no longer where the parent can borrow the cost of education. The parent is going to be limited to $20,000 per child per year. And that's very important. So you've also, when you're picking the college, you've got to look at your finances. You've got to look at, if you don't get a scholarship, how much that school is going to cost, and whether or not you can actually attend that particular school.
Wow, you have been a wealth of knowledge today. It's been a long time since I've been in college. It's been a long time since I've been in high school.
I don't believe it.
And so I thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your insight. And I want to tell you thank you for the work that you are doing for our community, because it is important work. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you all for having me.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for tuning in to MAC-DST Dialogues. And I hope you have enjoyed this discussion around college readiness and ACT prep. Let's get these babies into college and have them prepared for success in their college endeavors. Thanks for watching, and tune in to the next MAC-DST Dialogues. For more information about our chapter's events and activities, visit our website at MontgomeryAlumnaeDST.org. To like and follow and share Montgomery Alumni Chapter on Facebook and Instagram, and also YouTube.
Got a story idea you think we'd like to feature on MAC-DST Dialogues? Email your ideas to corresponding secretary at MontgomeryAlumnae.org or visit the MAC-DST Dialogues show page on the Montgomery, Alabama Alumni Chapter website at montgomeryalumni.org.